Hi guys, welcome to tonight's flight as with Air Europa. We're going to be taking a flight from Milan down into Rome. Got the orthos and we're using the Reshade. We're going to be going for a flight level of 290 and we'll come in for the R-level approach runway 33. Flight level is going to be 310 and it'll take us about an hour to get there. So don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave your comments down below, help us get to that 2k subscriber goal. Now we can get into the cockpit and start the aircraft up using the new updated Zibo Mod 737. Okay, so we're in the 737 now, so we're going overhead. We've got a battery on and guided standby power is on, but the ground power is on as well. So we'll go ahead and put the bat and the ground power. Going on our overheads now, we'll get the IRSs aligned whilst we wait for it. And we can turn everything up. Get on our lights, we can arm the emergency lights. We'll get our chimes on, we'll turn on the seatbelts, which are on. Engine starts can go to both. We'll get our window heats on. We'll set the probes just before we go, put on the trim air with the isolation valve, leave that open, and we'll get the APU started in just a second. So whilst we wait for all of that, we'll go ahead and get our panel lights all on. Turn on our radio lights as well for the panel, and we're using the real PFD mod as well. So we're going the FMC, we'll get everything all set up here. So we're going from Lima, India, Mike, Charlie. The IRS will be done pretty quick as I've got it set to fast, so 1 minute, wait for them to flash and then everything should be all good. So there they are, positions ready. So we'll stick in the airport. We'll align the IRSs and then we're going to Lima, India, Romeo, Alpha. We're going to do the RMP. And then we'll basically just take a tiny detour on final as we'll be offset coming down. So for our departure out, got it here on the charts. So on our departure out, we're going to be using the FlightFactor 5 X-ray. Okay, so there's FlightFactor 5 X-ray, and we're going from 17 left, which is fine. Then from FlightFactor we'll get our flight plan now. We're going to Dogub, which will be direct. Then so from FlightFactor we're going to go direct to November Oscar Victor. And then we're going to take ourselves down direct to Ekpol. From Ekpol we're then going to go to Ruxel. From Ruxel we've got Osmox. And then we'll go direct to Actmel, or Amtel. And then we got direct to Gitod, which would have been the start of the star if we was coming in for runway 15. There's some nice orthos, and there's like a little sort of hole in the floor, should we call it, where it's got like a little bit of water, and it looks really nice to fly over. So from Gitod, we'll then go back to our arrival. So here's all the arrivals in. Take the Latina 1 Foxtrot, is it? Latina 1 Foxtrot. So there's the Latina 1 Foxtrot. Okay, so if we have a look on our charts, you can see that we are going to go for the Latina 4 Golf, which will take us down onto the runway. And then we can follow the charts all the way down for final. this is the RNP Alpha, runway 33. So, got the Romeo Alpha 766, which is 4 DME from Rome. You can see here. So, we're going for the Latina 4 Golf, which is here, and we'll come down 433. We've got the Rome VOR anyway, so we can follow it around as when we come back from Latina. Then go on to the 281, and Idrox is the initial approach fix. Which is fine, we'll put Idrox in there, and then that is the arrival as we come down on the offset, and then when we get down is the final approach. So we'll be coming down offset on the 344, and we'll just check to see if that is there as well. .345. So yeah, we'll be going on to the 344, 345, and then when we are 4 DME from Rome, we'll then turn onto a heading of 008, and then once we're 2.5, we'll then turn onto the 329, which will then get us down onto the ground. Everything's all there, there's our minimums. So, with that all said, we can now go and get the perf all set up, and we're all ready to go. And because we're leaving Farrack, we may as well go direct to Nov. There we go. So that'll sort that out. That can be a straight continuous line when we head out. So let's go to our perf now. We'll get our rates. We've got reserves of 3, cost index of 55. We've got 310 on our ISA. Let's get our wins up and everything. So on our ISA 235019. We can go into our wins, and we've got minus 51. There we go. Okay. So we go to our N1 limit. Take full takeoff. Go climb 1. And just go back actually. So runway is dry, everything's all good there. I'll get back to our N1 limit, put the temperature in. So, go 4 flaps 5. So we've got 144, 145 and a 153. Okay, which is set. 310. Check the arrival out so we can see exactly where we need to be. So 9,000 for Farrack, and we're going straight up from there to Nov, so 8,000, 9,001. Okay, that's fine. Go and get our ASUS as well before we do depart. So we've got the reshading, as I do my own presets anyway, and I had them on the PC when I finally got Reshade to work again. So we've got the Reshade, we've got the orthos, and there's some nice orthos down for runway 33 when I was having a look before I flew this, so that's why I decided to do 33. It looks a little bit complicated, but it's quite straightforward. We're going to go to Latina VOR, as we can see here. Our initial approach fix is Idrox, where we'll come down practically on an offset, and then once we get down to the 4 DME from Rome, that is where we'll then make our right turn onto the 008, and then 2.5 DME from Rome, we'll make that left turn onto the 329. So that's the arrival. Should be all good. So put the auto brake to RTO, we'll get the APU now started. And we'll turn on the 1 pump. We can turn on our electrics now. Yaw damper can go on as we are ready. We'll turn on our anti-collisions. We can just about to see the ASUS and then sent it off again, so not to worry. We check on our leaving, so we are leaving runway 17 left, which is all the way over here. So we can taxi down Whiskey, take a right, cross 17 right, and then we'll manoeuvre ourselves to the Alpha Alpha hold. After taking off, there's Malpensa. We're not going to go to Farrux. We're going to basically go straight ahead, where we will then turn afterwards. So I'm not going to put no VORs in or anything. To arm the flight directors, and we'll be leaving out on the 168. Which is set. Okay, 168, which is set. We'll get our QNHs and then we'll blast out with them. So QNH is 1023240 at 04 knots. Okay, we'll go back and verify our takeoff speeds, which are all good. Everything's fine there. Now we're going for 310. Which is also set. We're going to get our pumps on, switch over the buses, go to the APU gen, we turn our probes off as we'll be going any minute now. Flight level is 310 and elevation down into the runway. Down here we've got 426. There, we'll leave it at 400. That's fine. Everything else is practically all ready to go now. So we've armed the flight directors. 1023 is on our ASUS, which we can set up now. Which is set. We're using the real-time weather. Which is also set. Auto brakes to RTO, and we'll now get the aircraft all ready to go. So we'll go ahead and call the tug, and before we do, we'll just get everything all offloaded. Okay, so we're all ready to go. Call the tug and we get out of it.
Alright, looks like the doors and hatches are closed and we're ready to connect. Go and kill the parking brake when you're ready to go.
Okay, so we've got the go ahead now to leave. So what we can do is release the parking brake, we'll turn our packs off.
Here comes the pushback. Light them up.
Go for engine number 2. So it's the start valve. Got N2 increasing, oil pressure will come to life, 25%. Inject the fuel, EGT will then increase and engine number 2 will come to life. It's that simple. So 20%. There's our oil pressure. 25, we'll let the fuel in, and we'll see our EGT now increase. Okay, so engine number 2 now has come to life and switched over now, so we go for engine number 1. Okay, so engine number 1 now has come to life. Wait for the pushback to get us all stabilised, and then we'll put the brake on. He'll drop us down and we'll get away. So I hope you like the reshade as well, as I did have one nice one that was saved from all the other presets that I had. There was one particular, so it was still here, so I can still use it. And combined with the reshade, it should give a really nice flight today.
Just about done here. Go ahead and set your parking brake.
Okay, so set the parking brake.
And we're disconnecting the tow. Give me just a moment.
Okay, so put the packs back on, isolation valve to auto, the APU bleed can go off. We'll switch over the buses, turn the APU off, we'll go to Gen 1. And once the tug clears, then we can turn on our taxi lights and get out of it. And we'll arm the auto throttle as well. We can now drop out flaps 5.
And we're disconnected. Signal and pin on the left. Take it easy and have a safe flight.
See you soon, bye bye. So we're using the real PFD displays, and that changed the colours on the horizon. And if we get our taxi charts up now, we can see we'll come out of Kilo 6, turn left onto Whiskey, follow it all the way down, and we'll cross over actually right here at Whiskey, just before the Whiskey 10 hold. Then we'll go over the Bravo and then turn left onto the Charlie 5. So that's the plan. And we'll turn a right turn onto the Whiskey 8. Okay, so we're all set to go now. Go full left, full right, full forward, full back, rudder left and rudder right, which is fine. So release the brake. And we'll power on up. Can turn on our taxis now. Don't know why the landing light was still on. Probably from when I was doing a few other test flights, when I was testing out the actual GLS approaches. As you can see, still got the ILS in as well, which we'll just switch off for now. So we'll take a right here, off of Kilo 6. Join on to Whiskey just at the end. So we'll take a left here. So we'll continue down Whiskey. As you can see, we'll take the second left, second right. Should be a really nice scenic flight on the arrival down into Milan. Okay, so this should be our turning. Coming up after this little turn here. Setup 17 right is being used for the arrivals. So we'll turn on our strobe as we go over, as we're crossing the active runway. Okay, so as we cross over now, take a left onto Charlie 5. Okay, so turn the strobes back to steady. And we'll take a left on Charlie. Go around the terminal and then end up at the start of runway 17 left. So we're going to take a right here. Go straight into this left. Line her up so we can have a look at the taxi chart quick. So we're going to follow Alpha down to the Alpha Alpha hold, and then we'll cross over and line up for the runway. So follow it down, cross over the Alpha Alpha, and then we'll line up onto 17 left, then we can blast out. Zero at 04. So we'll cut off now onto the right. Okay, so we're just about to cross over the hold short line, so we'll put our strobes on, put our wheel
Flight
on,
attendants, prepare for takeoff, please.
put on our runway turn-offs. We'll now line up onto the runway.
Okay, the cabin is secured. Have a good flight.
So we'll make that right turn. Line up. So now we're all lined up on runway 17 left. Put on the brakes quickly. So we can turn on our landing lights. Everything's all good there. We can arm the auto throttle, can arm the LNAV and the VNAV. With that all said and done, we can now get ready to take off. So release the brake, go to 40%. Stabilize and toga. Airspeed life.
$80 knots.
Check. Throttle hold.
V1 rotate.
Rotate.
Positive rate.
Gear up. Okay.
400.
1500 feet. We'll get the throttle reduction in.
$1,000.
Check. So turn the gear off. Put the auto brake to off. So now get ready to just slowly backtrack round. Go to flaps 2. Let's just take a slight right turn to then level back off. There, go to a flaps up now. Let's just follow it to November Oscar Victor. Okay. I want to stay at 230. So I don't want to go up to 25 just yet. So we've got a little bit of wind. As we go into that left turn, we should see a nice glow come through the cockpit. There, we'll just climb up now. Come up very steep. Now we can just get back onto the flight director. Level off with 230 on our speed and get ready for that right turn. Currently on the 162. A bit of trim. Going in there in just a few minutes time, so put the QNHs back over to standard, start switches can go to continuous, and there is our departure out of Milan. I'll see if I can make a 4K wing view of this flight. As now I've got the reshade working, it should be a lot more nicer inside the cockpit and outside with white textures. So just ready to go in, got up to 240, passing through 7006, QNHs are over to standard, just lower the nose a little, stay at 10 degrees, and now get ready to make that left turn. Now we make our way from November Oscar Victor on our way to Rome. Passing 9,000 feet. Okay, over the aircraft back off. Stay for 240. And there we are, guys. So we'll let the VNAV now take control of our speed, so we can now speed right up, and we'll turn the autopilot on as well, so I can take control of things, and we'll turn our landing lights off. Runway turn-offs, we can go off about taxis.
Sign is still on.
And
Remain seated. When the captain does turn off the sign, feel free to stand up and stretch your legs at that time. However, we do ask while you're in your seat, you please keep your seatbelt fastened at all times in case we do encounter any unexpected clear or turbulence. And for everyone's safety, please make certain all your personal belongings are free and clear of the aisle. You may now use all approved personal electronic devices. We'll be serving a variety of complimentary drinks as well as select beer and wine. In addition, there are other alcoholic beverages for purchase. Now we'd like you to sit back, relax, and enjoy our service on tonight's flight. If there's anything we can do to make them enjoyable, please don't hesitate to call upon us. Thank you.
Okay, so we can now turn off the fasten seatbelt sign. And if we do our after takeoff checklist, so we've got air conditioning pressurization, which is set, engine start switches, which are continuous, which is also set, landing gears up and off, which is set, auto brakes off, flaps up, no lights, which is checked, and altimeters, which are set on the standard 1013 to 9992. Okay, currently heading on the 131 as we make our way, and we're just now approaching near to our top of descent, top of climb, sorry. So we're not too far out, we can catch a lovely wing view of the orthos. Climbing up through 15,000 feet now on our way to flight level 310. You can see now we're just going to get to egg power in 63 miles time. We can check the sit out, there's some lovely views, the orthos. Orthos I'd highly recommend to use orthos as they're free and setup is easy. We've got a tutorial on the channel as well if you need any help. So that's practically the flight now, guys. So what we can do is we can go to our takeoff cinematics, and then when we get back to our top of descent we can then fly the approach in for runway 33. 310. And we're going to start to make our descent down in just a few moments time. We're going to go for 3,000 feet. Hydrox is 430. Once we come down, it'll be 3,000 feet. Once we come down for the Romeo Alpha 764, then by 766, I should imagine that'll be our minimums. But we're going to disconnect. We'll fly it down manually on the 344. We'll then turn right at 4 DME to the 008, flying it manually, and then 2.5 DME from Rome. We'll then turn on to 329 to intercept for the 33 approach. So we're all set to now tell the aircraft to come down for 3,000 feet, which is set. Just going to hit our top of descent in just a few moments time, and then from the 124 we'll track the 157 to the Latina VOR, which we can get up now. So Latina VOR is the 111.2. Okay, so there's Latina, 86 miles out. Once we get to Latina, we're then going to go on to 281. Or if we're leaving, it should be the radial. So we're all set to come in practically. We're now going to make that right turn onto the 157. Okay, which is set. The aircraft's just about to come down. Got no terrain now. So there's Latina coming in now, 70 miles. Turn onto the 281, and what we can do is we can put Rome onto my one, and we'll keep WR for Latina onto the first officers. Rome's is 110.8. Okay, which is set, and that'll obviously be on the 343. Which is also set. We're going to plan. You're going to see it will come round, and then we'll start that visual for the approach, which is this sector here. When we get to the Romeo Alpha 766, which is right there, which will be 4 DME, as we can see, 4 DME from Rome, and then we'll visually go to 2.5 DME on the 008, turn a left onto the 329, and practically get ready to come in. We've got 329 in. As we get ready now, we can see there's Latina, so we can put in the 281, is it? We're putting the 281. Start to slow the aircraft now. Okay, so 281's in. You can see Latino is 65 nautical miles, we're 45 nautical miles from the runway. Start to slow the aircraft down now. I'll tell it to keep its path though, so don't want the aircraft to start lifting up. That's 250. Our speed 230 below. Okay. So we'll slow the aircraft right down now. So coming through now, we've got our Engine start switches which are continuous, which are checked. We put out auto brake of number 2. Let's check out approach as we come in. We're not going to put the glider on as well. Let's put the glider on 4. To a flaps 30. 153. 2008 meters. The runway is. So if we get up our 737 manual, we can see that for flaps 30 and for 2000 meters we'll do auto brake number 3. We'll get the ASUS as well. As we come in, we're slowly descending our speed as we get ready now to come in for Milan, or Rome, sorry. So we've got auto brake number 2. We're going to be coming down on the flaps 30, 153, plus 5, 158, slowly slowing down now as we head towards Latina, over 50 miles away, passing through 240. Going to get our ATIS now for the arrival. So Lima India Romeo Alpha, send that off, wait for that to come back, slowing down now through 250. So as we wait for the ATIS to come back for the runway, we'll intercept the Latina VOR on the 281 and forward DME from the Rome VOR, which is the airport. We'll then turn right onto the 008. So we'll disconnect before our minimums, which on here stands at 1470, which is 1043. Which is set. We're coming in for 157, 158. We've got 153 on the approach. Flaps 30. Actually, what's our wind saying? Let's have a look at our winds. 040 at 03. We could do flaps 40. Should be a 146. Okay, so now we'll have a look at our ground speed. So our descent angle is 3.5 degrees. We've got a 146 plus 5 will be a 151. So we're looking around about 900 feet per minute. So once we come down from 3000, follow it down to the Romeo Alpha 766. Okay, which isn't going to be here, but basically that is forward DME out from the runway. So we'll be keeping a close eye on the Rome VOR for when we come down. Go down to our flaps up now. That's 20 miles from the airport, 38 miles. So cabin crew, prepare for landing. Turn on our seatbelts now. So it should be a nice arrival. Get to do a nice little visual approach.
Turn on the fasten seatbelt sign. Please recheck the security of your seatbelt.
So as you can see, we'll turn right onto the 281, which will basically then will intercept as we come down. We're then going to make a slight right turn, and then that will take us onto the left. And then we'll go on to the 329, sorry. So there's a 329. And there's our 281. So just coming down into our flaps up now. Got the speed brakes open. And once we get to our decel, which is the 230 below, 240 at Hydrox, but we'll stay at 23, which is fine. So Hydrox is 5,000. On the FMC we've got Hydrox of 4,000. And the initial fix is the Romeo Alpha 763, which is 10 DME. And then we start our descent at 8.1 on the 3.5. So I can put them fixes in, I should imagine. So I'll put the RA763, the RA764, and then we've got the RA766, and that is where we are then going to come down. And then the RA766 is basically our minimums, which is pretty much bang on 1451. So now we can run the LNAV and the VNAV down, and then like I say 4 DME from Rome, which will be on our visual approach coming down on the 344, which we can see the 344 pretty much, and then 4 DME we make a right turn on 008. But we'll be flying it visually by then, so by the time we get to our minimums we'll disconnect the autopilot and we'll be all ready to go. So 13,000 feet. Let speed brakes in now and keep them to armed. So auto brake is set to number 2. We've got flaps 40, 146 plus 5, which is a 151. Come down for around 900 feet per minute. Got the Rome VOR in. I'm currently heading down on the 157, ready to turn right onto the 280, and then we'll intercept at our initial approach fix, which is Hydrox at 5,000, but we're going to hit Hydrox at 4,000. So we'll let the VNAV do what it's got to do. It'll be 10 nautical miles from the start of the approach. So, keep the aircraft's speed brakes open. Okay. So I've got our rings in as well. So about 5 and 10 ring fixes. As we get ready now, passing through 10,000 feet. Keep the speed brakes up now. $7,003 and then 5. Should be alright. Down for 9,000. We slow down just a little bit more. We're down to flaps 1. We might just get away with it and be able to actually get rid of the hold. Okay, so continuing down now, 9,002 just passing. I'll go to flaps 2. Get the aircraft nice and configured. So the 281 is where we initially turned. I couldn't see in the FMC the approach for the RNAV on 3.3, only had the 1.5, which is pretty much why they probably do just land on 1.5. But I thought we'd do 3.3 as the orthos were looking really nice over on that side as we come round. Speed brakes are armed. In just a few moments time we're making that right turn, but we'll be taking the 273 instead of the 281. So there's the RNAV, runway 33. As we're all set to come in now. So 18 DME from Rome leaving, and with 3 DME. Now we'll make that turn. Onto 273. Check out on our max speeds, 185. We'll get down to, so we are down already. We can go to flaps 5 now. So let's make our way around. So down to 175. So we'll do our approach checklist now. So we've got our descent, we've got pressurization and landing altitude, which is set for 427. We're going to take it for 400. Anti-ice is off. The approach briefing and fuel is discussed, and our speed bugs, which are set for flaps 40 of a 151. And we are going to start our descent for near around 3,000 feet. Once we get down to our minimums, we'll disconnect, and then we'll get the aircraft all ready and configured. So what we'll do now is look at the ATIS 1022 is the QNH, which is set. Which is set. So we're all set now to come in on our speeds. Our next restriction, and you see 183, so we can stay pretty much A-OK now the whole way down. Start to bring the controls over now as we take that last turn, and we'll switch the QNHs over as well, so we are on the right path. So we are then going to turn onto the 343, which is right here, and then 4 DME. We then turn to 008, we'll disconnect before our minimums, then 2.5 DME from Rome, we turn onto the 329. So passing through 5,000, and we are all good on our speed. Currently at a flaps 5, speed brakes armed. Always do that, because if you double tap it, you open up the speed brakes to either flight or full, and then you have to click them back down to get them out. So passing 4,007 now, with the controls back over as we get ready to fly the visual. Okay, so making that left turn now onto the 343. Okay, landing lights are on, auto brake is set to number 3. Got our minimums, which is 1470 for 1,000 feet, just over 1,000 feet.
1,000 to go.
1022, there's 300, so we'll go down now to our minimums, which is we'll put it to 1,500, so we're above it. Okay, so as we get ready now, go down to a flaps 10. And we've got the airport in sight. So when we're 4 DME from Rome, that's when we're going to basically get down on the ground. We're still 10 miles out from Rome, and just before our minimums then we'll disconnect and we should be fully configured. So we are offset. Currently on the 343. Then we're going to make a right turn onto the 008 at 4 DME. So we'll go flaps 15, gear down. As we are going to start coming down now.
2,500.
Check. Okay. Only 8 DME now. Okay, go down to flaps 30. And finally our flaps 40. So 7 DME now. Let the autopilot stay in. As you can see, there's the runway right there. 1022. 4 DME from the airport. When they're going to come down. Okay, so not too far away now, just over 1 DME away. There's 2,000, 1,500 is the minimums. There's a little bit of wind coming down. There's 5 DME. Okay, 4.7.
1,000.
1,000 feet, stabilized, Mr. Perch, altitude
There's our
set.
runway right there.
Approaching
So
minimums.
4.3, disconnect, and we'll turn off the autopilot as well, which is set. So 4 DME now, we'll turn onto the 008, continue. Okay, there we go. So
Terrain.
there's 408,
Terrain.
011.
Terrain.
Okay, not going to hit the terrain. And then 2.5 DME continues to come down. And 2.5 DME will make that left turn. Okay, so that's 2.4, and then we'll go to the 329.
500. 400. 300. 200. 100.
Take brake.
50, 40,
Take brake.
30, 20, 10.
Okay, speed brakes are up and reversers are active. And there we are, down in the row.
80 knots.
Check. Reversers can come back in. Manual braking. And there we are, guys, down in a row.
We'll be taxiing to the gate for the next few minutes. Would you ask you please remain seated with your seatbelt securely
Okay,
fastened?
so
Until
flaps
the
can go
aircraft
back up.
is parked at the gate and the captain turns off the passenger
And we
seatbelt
can lock in
sign.
the speed brakes.
At that time, please check around your seating area for all your personal belongings brought on board as you today, and use caution when opening the overhead compartment.
Turn over the auto brake off
Thank you
now.
for flying with us today. We hope you had a pleasant
And we'll
experience.
vacate the
We look
runway.
forward to serving you again. Thank you, and have a pleasant afternoon.
So there we are, guys, down in Rome. Hope you enjoyed the visual approach. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. Help us get to that 2K subscriber goal. We'll start up the APU in just a second. We just get ready to come off of the runway. So we can now turn our landing lights off. Runway turn-offs can go off, taxis can go on, strobes can go to steady, wheel and wing can go off, and we can tell the cabin now to relax. Go in and get our taxi charts. You can see we're right here, so we'll take a left turn and follow her up, and then we'll get the gate. So don't forget to like and subscribe, guys. Leave your comments down below, and I'll see you guys when we get back for the taxi to the gate. So I'll see you guys in just a second. we are, guys, down in Rome for the flight of the evening with the lovely Europa Airlines. Don't forget to like and subscribe, leave your comments down below, and I'll see you all again for the next available